Hi there, this is Craig back from StopDrinkingExpert.com. Welcome into today's video blog, and today's subject is how can I get to sleep without alcohol? A lot of people have a problem with this. If you've been in a loop of drinking every day for quite some time, then you will find going to bed without alcohol in your system maybe a little bit unsettling. It feels completely different. In fact, people complain that they just simply can't sleep without alcohol. And then, of course, they use this as an excuse to keep drinking because, hey, look, I've got to go to work in the morning. I cannot be up all night. I simply cannot afford it. So I have to keep drinking. And it's not that you can't sleep without alcohol. It's just you've forgotten how to go to sleep normally. Alcohol is a mild anesthetic, and there is a big difference between being anesthetized and going to sleep, although it feels kind of similar. But, it is an anesthetic, and that's why back in the Middle Ages, the doctors of the time, as a rudimentary painkiller, would give a sailor a tot of rum before they sawed their leg off. Did it help? Probably not at all. But maybe even just a little bit of placebo would have helped in that situation. But it was all they had. It was the strongest form of anesthetic they had. And so it's just another property of the drug that we take and twist and mutate into something else. So it's a kind of negative of the drug that we then twist it and turn it into a positive. Alcohol becomes something good that helps us sleep and not a dangerous anesthetic that slows our brain activity down to a level where we can no longer stay conscious. I mean, when you say it like that, it sounds completely different, doesn't it? So the first thing to get clear about is the difference between sleep and anesthesia. Anesthesia is completely different. It alters the activity levels in the brain, basically. Now, because your brain is not in sleep mode, it is not working to restore cells, it's not healing your body, it's not resting whatever needs to be rested, it's not going through the sleep cycle that we have evolved to use to restore our bodies. So this is why you can go to bed drunk and be in bed for 12 hours and wake up exhausted in the morning. I mean, logically, you should wake up full of energy, shouldn't you, after a 12-hour sleep? But you wake up feeling terrible and tired. And this is simply because you weren't asleep for most of the night. You were simply drugged. You were simply unconscious because you took a mild anesthetic in sufficient quantity that it knocked you out. And that's very different. So maybe for the first couple of days, maybe even a week, you're going to find going to sleep feels a bit strange because you've not gone to sleep in a natural way for a long, long time. And you may find your brain is more active than you would like it to be because normally you have an anesthetic in your bloodstream to stop that nonsense, yeah? So there are natural remedies we can use. You can use melatonin tablets. You can use, for a short-term use, you can use sleep aids, which are kind of the old drowsy antihistamines that they used to give for allergies before they developed the non-drowsy versions. You can take 5-HTP, 5-hydroxytryptophan, as long as it doesn't contradict any of your current medication. In the book I mentioned 5-HTP, excuse me, flies about today. I mentioned 5-HTP, but it is important that you do not take that if you're on antidepressants or any sort of heart medication. And certainly I would advise you to check with a GP before you do, because it does have quite a few contradictions with other medicines. What you will find is when you do get back into the sleep cycle of natural sleep, is you need much less time in bed to feel much more energized in the morning. Back when I used to be a drinker, I would be in bed for 10 hours because I could barely get past 8 p.m. I was drinking from the moment I got home from work, and, slowly drinking this mild anesthetic put me into a coma. And I would fall asleep at 8 p.m. even before my children went to bed. And I'd wake up in the morning having been in bed for 10 hours exhausted. These days, I sleep 7 hours and I wake up absolutely brimming with energy. So let's get this illusion out of our mind that alcohol helps you sleep. It doesn't. It knocks you out. If anything, it damages your sleep. So get clear about that. Get the truth in your head and Just stick with it for a few days. Use some herbal tablets to help you through the first couple of days. And as soon as you get back into a regular pattern, you're going to find it just has an amazing impact on your energy levels and your vitality in life. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, get in touch with me via the website, www.stopdrinkingexpert.com.